How was travel getting in here and everything like that?
Great. I mean, they put us on a nice plane getting here. I've enjoyed every moment of it. It was a nice long flight, but I enjoyed it. We got here. It's been good being in LA.
So no delays, no Spirit Airline, no
No,
nightmares,
nothing,
no
nothing
nothing.
like that. It was top of
Awesome,
the line for sure.
good. How have you? I know you've only been here for a couple days now, but how have you enjoyed it, and personally for this Rose Bowl?
Yeah, I'm enjoying every single day. I feel like for me, I'm just trying to enjoy every part of the day as far as the practices, even our downtime. But yeah, I'm enjoying every aspect of it.
Is it surreal a little bit? Given hey, you come in here as a one-year transfer and you're able to play in the Rose Bowl, and
Yeah,
you're here.
yeah, I'm still trying to grasp it for sure. But yeah, it's definitely surreal, and it's a dream come true to be able to play in this game.
What do you remember about that decision to transfer? Because right now, a lot of guys across the country are going through the portal and going through that process. What do you remember about that process for you?
During that process, it was more so I wanted to take a chance on myself and bet on myself like I always have. And playing at the Power 5 level and playing against the best competition week in, week out was really important to me. So that was what went into my decision.
How much of a sell was that from Coach Franklin and Coach Stubblefield and the staff in terms of, hey, come and play in the Big Ten?
I mean, it was a big sell. I mean, they had just had Jahan, that left, and I seen the success he had, and for me, being able to play against the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Michigan States, all these Auburn, I mean, all these different schools, and I'm like, I want to be a part of that.
You roomed with Cliff, right?
Hmm.
Are you still rooming with Cliff?
Yeah, I still want to.
So when you first got on campus, was that immediate, like right then and there, that you guys linked
Yeah,
up?
yeah, he welcomed me in for sure. And we kind of been clicking ever since. As we've been together for a while now. Our relationship has grown. We hang out a lot. In the living room. Whether it's watching games or NBA games or whatever. We it's kind of just grown.
Who are you a fan of in the NBA?
In the NBA, I'm a LeBron fan. So
You're a LeBron guy?
yeah, wherever LeBron goes, that's where I'm watching. So
Fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Can you take me back to your recruitment in high school and how you got to Western?
Yeah, I didn't have any offers out of high school. I only played my senior year of high school, so I kind of did that to myself. But yeah, I had zero offers. I ended up, walking on at Hutchinson Community College. Like I said, bet on myself and walked on there. And I ended up starting like halfway through my freshman year, and then my sophomore came around. I had 8 or 9, smaller Division I schools, and I ended up going to Western Kentucky.
You said you only played your senior year in high school?
Yeah, I only played
Why is that? Was it just late to pick up the game? Or?
No. I played football my whole life growing up, and I had been asking my dad to play basketball and just try other things. I wanted to continue to play football, but I wanted to try other things also. And really, I kind of just wanted to take just like a year break. That was the plan. Just take a year break, and then I'll get back into football. But then basketball, I ended up really enjoying it, and so I ended up playing all the way up until my junior year. And I don't know why I did that to myself, but yeah, then I came back my senior year. So yeah, it kind of wasn't really a smart move on my part. But yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
It works out.
Yeah, it ended up working out for the best.
So you're playing football up until, excuse me, 8th grade, and then high
Yep.
school was.
Yeah, high school. I didn't play in high school until my senior year.
Was your football coach like, what are you doing? Like when you started playing your senior year, for high school, was your coach like what?
Well, at that point, because my football coach in high school, he had never seen me play. So I mean, he's just saying like he knew me from basketball, and he was like, okay, like let's see what he got, whatever that type of thing. I don't think he really knew that I had played before, and I was actually pretty good at a young age. But yeah, I mean, I think he really enjoyed me being on the team, things like that. So.
What's been your favorite game moment play of the season for you personally? If you can narrow that down, if you can't.
It's probably two things. I had a deep ball against Auburn. That's up there, and then probably the one-hand catch against Minnesota. That was probably my two, favorite moments that really come to mind. So.
Thanks for your time, I really appreciate it.
Ain't no problem.
We've talked in the past, obviously, about your journey. Talked to Johnny about it. I know I asked you this last time we talked too, but has it hit yet that you're kind of here after everything? Like now that you're in Los Angeles, you're about to play in the Rose Bowl, you have all of this going on. Like, has it hit you yet that you've come this far since not really playing in high school?
Yeah, I would say yeah, but and I know just that's kind of how life goes. You really don't really grasp the whole thing until it's over. You know what I mean? But like I think for sure I'm appreciating every moment of being here. And it's nice to be in LA for a week. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I feel like I'm trying to appreciate the moment.
Have you had a chance to reflect on this season yet? Sort of the decision you made and what came of it, and how do you feel about how it all went?
Yeah, definitely. I've reflected a lot. Honestly, I feel like I made the best decision for myself. Being able to come here, produce, and help my team out however I could. Whether it's catching the ball or blocking. So I feel like for me, that was the most important thing, and I wanted to prove that not only to everybody else, but also prove to myself because I always knew that I could play at this level. But being able to do it and come here, earn a starting job, that was all important things to me. So
what's the thing you've improved on most this season that has sort of helped your NFL stock? Do you think that kind of set you up for the future?
Yeah, I mean, taking advantage of my opportunities for sure, and definitely getting in on my breaks. I feel like that's something that I've been big on, all spring, all summer, is just getting in on my breaks. And I feel like those are things that I've done well this year.
Thanks, Mitch.
No problem.
So has Penn State kind of asked you to kind of, I guess, help them explain what the opportunity might be for a potential incoming transfer that they may be bringing in 2023 at the wide receiver position? I'm just curious because you've had your experience. Seems like it was a positive one.
Yeah.
Have you kind of lent your resources to what they're doing there at all?
Like as far as helping, helping.
Maybe when a guy comes on campus or a guy has questions about what it might be to transfer at this position.
Yeah, I mean, I told Coach Franklin and Coach Stubbs that I'm willing to help however I can. There's been a few guys that have come in, but yeah, I mean, I've said what I had to say to them, and definitely gave them positive experiences from my point of view. So I mean, I've tried to help for sure.
When you look back on the transfer portal, how nervous were you to do that? I mean,
To hop in the transfer portal?
Yeah, like just was it an easy decision? Was it a hard decision? There's a lot of guys who landed where they want to land. You're a success story with that, but there's a lot of guys who haven't. Just what was your mindset going through the portal?
For me, like I don't think if I wouldn't have had the season I had the year before, I probably wouldn't have hopped in the portal like that. Because I feel like for some people it could be like a death trap. You know what I mean? But like I feel like for me, I knew I wanted to play at the Power 5 level, and I wanted NFL scouts to see me playing against the best competition week in and week out. So I feel like for me, hopping in the portal after the year I had, I knew that, there would be, some Power 5 schools that at least wanted me, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, it ended up being really good for me when I got into the portal. So
What was those two weeks like, the recruitment process of that? Like, I mean, how hectic was it? How many schools reached out to you? I don't even know if you can share on which other schools were after you. I mean, we talked about it a little bit when you committed, but if you can just kind of take me back to what those 2 weeks were like and also how did Penn State separate itself?
Yeah, it was definitely different going from high school with no offers and then, almost feeling like a 5-star when I entered the portal. Like, it was kind of like I basically had, offers or, I was talking to all of my dream schools, really. You know what I mean?
Can you share a couple?
Yeah, I mean,
who were some of
my dream school was actually USC growing up. I was a big Reggie Bush fan. They had offered me. I was UNC, Tennessee, Rutgers, Louisville, Florida State, Texas A&M, Ole Miss. But yeah, I mean, it was down and out. But I feel like what separated Penn State, the day I got in the portal, they were there the next day, visiting, coming to see me, and I feel like they were really genuine and really honest. I feel like for me, I'm not big on like promises. You know what I mean? Oh, we're gonna do this, doing this. They're like, you come here and work, and you can earn whatever you want. And so I feel like that was important to me.
How much impact has living with Sean this year had on you?
No, I feel like it's really helped our chemistry. We're able to talk about it, obviously on the field, in the meeting room. But, when we come home, we can relax and, just talk about other different things. So I feel like those things have combined and, being able to help our chemistry for sure.
Is this the type, when you came here to Penn State, is this the type of game that you expect to be playing in and what you hoped you were playing in when you came here?
Yeah, for sure. I hope, definitely to be playing in, a New Year's Six game or, playoff game for sure. And I knew that the type of team we had, the type of talent that we had, and I was really expecting to be, here. I can't say here in this bowl game, but definitely in a game like this.
When you got paired up with Utah, what were your initial impressions of them, and kind of what were your thoughts?
Utah's a good team. I seen the way they played against USC in their conference championship game. They got a tough defense, but I think if we execute the way we know how to, I think we'll come up on top.
On that note, how do you guys get off to a good start against a team that you've never faced before?
That's a good question. I mean, we just got to do what we know how to do and control what we can control. So I feel like that's the biggest thing.
Is there a team from the Big Ten that you feel like maybe resembles what you've seen on tape about Utah?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to compare teams. From what I've seen, their front seven, their D-line and their linebackers are really solid for sure. And the DBs are really good, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question.
You're good. Sean said Purdue, so I didn't know if you had your own thoughts about that.
Yeah.
How much does what Nick and Katron have done this season really open things up for the passing game for you guys?
I mean, when you got two, beasts like that, I mean, you got to focus on that. You know what I mean? And then, when you got them both combining for, I don't know, they have 800-900 yards or something like that. I mean, you got to be worried about that. Then when you open up the passing game, you got 3 tight ends, Brenton, Theo, and Tyler, and then you got the weapons out here at receiver. I mean, I feel like it's just tough. I think we're well-rounded. I mean, we're not just one-sided. I think we can do a lot of different things to attack a defense.
And then when you look around and see all the Rose Bowl paraphernalia in your hotel, all the nice stuff you have, and this trip, what does it really mean to you just to be here?
I'd say it's a dream come true. Being able to be here in this moment. It's crazy. As a senior, with 0 offers, I dreamed of being in situations like this, being in moments like this, being interviewed and stuff like that. But, now that I'm actually here, I really appreciate it. And, just being here is a dream come true. So, I mean, yeah.
What did your parents say?
What, about coming to this game?
Yeah.
They were just really happy for me. I think, after our last game, they kind of knew that, we were going to be in a big bowl game, but, they know that, Reggie Bush was my favorite player, and, he played in the Rose Bowl in 06, 05, something like that. But just being able to be here is kind of just full circle, really, for me and my family.
During the last month, what have some of the younger receivers done on the field? And there's a lot of questions about who's going to step up, and that really starts with the Rose Bowl and then goes into next year. What are you seeing? Anyone specifically that you feel like has really maybe flicked that switch in the past 6-7 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to name one person, but I would say, Trey Wallace, Caden Saunders. Ivy, Anthony Ivy, and TJ.
What can you tell us about Anthony? Because he spent the season on the developmental squad, so we didn't get a ton of look at him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, he got here in the summer, so I feel like spring is really important as far as, getting the reps, being able to learn the playbook and things like that. But I think as far as that, he's gotten a lot more consistent, and I feel like, well-rounded as far as knowing the complete offense, not just his position, but knowing everything. So I feel like he's doing really well with that.
I guess the same thing for Tyler, someone who got here and we just haven't really had a chance to see.
Yeah, he's pretty much on the same path for sure. I mean, I think he's definitely learned the offense and learned it, and I think he'll step up in the game whenever they get the opportunity.
And because you mentioned Caden, he got here in January, so you've got a bigger sample size with him. What has he kind of gone through? Taylor Stubblefield mentioned him kind of maturing, working his way to being a college athlete.
Yeah. I feel like Caden was a dog when he got here, for sure. He kind of had that process that I was saying about Ivy and TJ in the spring. But, I mean, for sure, and he was behind, Parker and Jaden Dotton. So, I mean, it's kind of one of those different things, too. But, yeah, Caden can play. I feel like he's going to step up and make some plays on Monday also. So
you talked a little bit about your journey getting here last spring. It's no secret that Penn State's still trying to add this offseason one way or another. What's your pitch to somebody who's looking to come here?
I would say if you want to compete and play against the best, week in, week out, and then against the best in practice, I mean, this is the place to be. You get coached by the best coaches, who've coached at the highest level. I would also say that this is a good place. I mean, as far as the fan base, 107,000 people showing up to the home games. It was almost sold out like every game for the most part. So I mean, it's definitely a good place to be.
How much did being at Penn State change who you were as a receiver compared to Western Kentucky?
I feel like, I don't know if change is the right word, but I would say, added on. I feel like for me, I've learned a lot of different things from, Coach Stubbs, our OC, Coach Yursich, even our support staff. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, it's only grown me as a player.
How meaningful is it for you to be able to say you can end your college career in the Rose Bowl?
I guess I can say it's a dream come true. It's a dream come true. My first Rose Bowl that I ever watched was USC versus Texas, and Reggie Bush was my favorite player, so it's kind of full circle.
And now you're playing in the game. Did you ever imagine that?
I imagined it. Never. I didn't know if it was actually going to happen or not. But yeah, like it's cool to actually be here and be in LA for a week. It's like I said, it's a dream come true.
Is it tough to balance the fun? Because there's a lot of fun in this game. There's the Disney, there's the Beat Bowl tomorrow night. Is it tough to balance that with knowing that there's a game Monday and you got to get down to work?
I don't think so. I think everybody's handling it pretty well, for sure. It's a time for play and time for work. And, the main goal while we're here is to win this game. So, I mean, but yeah, of course we're going to enjoy ourselves while we're here. But for me and, the rest of the team, we're ready to focus up and get this win.
When you look at Utah, do you see Penn State sometimes, just in the way they're made up, toughness on both sides of the line of scrimmage?
Yeah. I definitely think they're tough, for sure. They do a lot of good things. And I haven't really watched their offense, but on defense, they do a lot of good things. They're well-rounded as far as, D-line, second-level defenders, linebackers, DBs. I think they're, well-rounded, and I think they're a tough defense. But I think if we execute the way we know how to, we should be able to come up on top.
You think you're better up for a physical challenge in this game than maybe you have been in the past, this team?
Yeah, I feel like, we've been tested all year. We've had, the first game of the season, that was a nail-biter. So, I mean, I feel like we're ready and we're a tough team. And, we've been tested, and I think we'll be ready.
Mitchell, is there any defense that you played this year that you can compare to Utah's?
I don't really like comparing. I mean, I think they're a really good defense. They do a lot of good things. But, I don't really know if there's anybody I could compare them to.
You told us, I think maybe in early November, late October, about how Drew had grown since August. Can you tell us maybe how Drew has grown from mid-season to where you are now, wrapping up your on-field work with him?
I think it's pretty much the same as far as like rate of change. I mean, as time goes by, you get better at things. But
what do you envision for him moving forward, based on what you have seen? We've seen flashes, but you've seen him daily grinding.
Yeah, I mean, going into the future, I mean, I see him as just, kind of how he came in, like in the Purdue game. He was poised, ready to go, ready to attack the moment. And I feel like that's what Drew does well, is being able to attack the moment and be present.
What do we need to know about Bo? Because he's a guy who hasn't gotten that game experience, but right now with Christian moving on, there's going to be more focus on Bo and his role in the quarterback.
Yeah, I think Bo will be ready also. I feel like Coach Franklin has a saying, prepare like you're the starter. And I feel like Drew and Bo both do those things really well. So I feel like, they'll be ready to come next year.
Mitch, who's influenced your work ethic the most? You obviously said you had no offers in the senior year, but now you're playing in the Rose Bowl, and you obviously had to work very hard to get there. So has it been your players or somebody growing up?
I would definitely say probably my parents, my dad. My dad worked really hard. He worked a lot of different jobs growing up, and he always emphasized, if you want something, you got to go get it. At an early age, when 5, 6 years old, I was, cutting grass and stuff like that. So, if I wanted to earn money, this is what I had to do. It was just one of those different things. I feel like for me, and it also came from within also, football is like what I love to do. So, I mean, for me, it wasn't really hard. It was hard, but like I'm saying, like it wasn't really hard to work hard. It was something that I wanted to do.
Did you have a goal senior year of high school?
Yeah, my goal was to be here. I was to be at a Power 5 school. That was my goal. I wanted to go to the junior college route and, make my way all the way up. As hard as, it has been to get here. I feel like that was my goal that I set out. And, I didn't know everything was going to happen the way it did, but it definitely, worked out for the best.
So you say you fulfilled your goal and also put a cherry on top of the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. And, obviously, the biggest goal was to, make it to the NFL, but not only make it, but stay in the NFL. So I feel like for me, this is giving me, the opportunity to play, on a stage that all the NFL scouts and GMs and, people are going to be watching, even this whole season. I've been able to play on a platform that allows me to show what I can do.
What does it mean? What does it mean for you to be playing in the Rose Bowl?
I mean, it means everything. The Rose Bowl was a great game. I remember watching my first Rose Bowl when I was like 5 or 6. Reggie Bush was my favorite player. So USC versus Texas. But yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true to be out here in LA for a week. I'm enjoying it. But we're locked in, ready to go.
You mentioned your dad earlier. Are your parents going to be able to come to the game and watch you play?
Yeah, my dad will be at the game.
If you had a message to your dad or your family, what would you say in terms of thanking them to support you?
Yeah, I would say, Dad, I really appreciate it. My mom, I appreciate all of your hard work and sacrifice, to be able to, help me get here, all the love and support. And, we're going to go get this dub.
Mitchell, you have Sean as your quarterback. I just got done talking to him. What is it about him that makes him special? Maybe, rather, I don't want to say maybe compared to other quarterbacks you played with, but just him in this offense as a leader. What does he mean to you? What has he meant to this program?
Everything. I feel like his confidence and just the way he carries himself. I mean, I feel like as a quarterback, it's one of them positions that, everybody's watching, looking at, and critiquing. You know what I mean? And for the most part, you can't never be right because it's like, someone's going to be like, you should have did this, you should have did that. But I feel like Sean has a great way of handling all these different things. And I feel like for me, he's just focused on one play at a time. And I feel like that's what he does well and is able to do with helping our team,
And who would you say is the funniest guy on the roster?
On the roster?
It could be a few guys if it's a few, but whatever comes to mind.
Parker Washington is up there. Kalen King, Keandre Lambert. I'm gonna stick with those three. Yeah.
Just with Parker's injury and him declaring with the NFL draft, how has this wide receiver room as a whole and you in particular been able to step up?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like, we're ready, and I feel like that's something Coach Stubb has done well in preparing us for situations like this. I would definitely say that, even, fall camp, early on in the season, making sure that everybody knows, the concepts, not just knowing your position, but knowing, whether it's slide, both outside positions. I mean, that was kind of big. So, I mean, I feel like everybody was able to transition and move, I ain't going to say smoothly, but being able to slide into another position that they might not have got that many reps in, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And how is Sean just as a quarterback and a leader?
I mean, he's great. I mean, I feel like what he does really well is being able to, focus up and be ready, and locked into one play at a time. And I feel like that's something that he pushes everybody else to do. And, forget about what happened last play. Don't think about the next play. It's just about being present and locking in and doing your job for one play at a time.
You guys utilize the tight ends a lot in your offense. What have you seen from that position group?
I mean, they're dogs. Britton, Theo, and Tyler. I mean, it's kind of crazy how we have three of them. I mean, I definitely think they're Sunday ready. And I definitely think that we have a lot of talent in that position.
What's it been like to see guys like Brett and guys like Juice be able to make their announcement, get to declare that they're taking this next step in their career? As a teammate, what's that like?
I mean, it's awesome. I feel like I just root for my teammates, and I want everybody to do well. And just seeing that is I don't know. It's no words that can really describe it. You know what I mean? Everybody's fulfilling their lifelong dreams, and I think it's especially for their communities and their families, it's inspiring, motivating. But yeah, it's definitely a cool moment.
G said that he thinks that this team next year has the potential ceiling of knocking on the door of the playoff, being contention there? Is that something you see too?
Yeah, I would say so because I definitely think that overall, we have a pretty young team, or a medium team, I guess I would say. So I mean, I definitely think that we have a lot of pieces coming back here next year that we'll be able to do that. You know what I mean?
When people talk about that team next year, with you leaving, with Parker leaving, the wide receivers kind of get brought up as a potential question mark. What is it about the guys that are coming back that makes you think that they can answer that they can, I guess, not be a question mark?
I think all of our young guys are ready for the challenge and are ready to step up in big ways. You know what I mean? Trey Wallace, you got Caden Saunders, and then you also got the guys coming back as far as like Keandre, Malik, Jaden Dodden. I mean, those are guys that are vetted that will be ready to step up also. So I mean, those are guys that are ready to go.
Christian Driver has, gotten, I guess it's probably the longest extended time he's gotten that wide receiver. How have you seen him come along in the bowl prep?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is kind of like his first time as far as in college with the playbook and everything. He's had his days, but he's also had a lot of success, as far as practicing in our 7-on-7s and stuff like that. So I think next year he'll be able to add on too.
When the season began, this was your first year with the team. How would you, if you were reflecting on the season, I know we still have one more game before it finally concludes, how would you say you've grown from week 1 with Penn State to Rose Bowl week?
I would definitely say, I don't know, as a person, I feel like I was able to learn a lot from my coaches. Coach Stubbs, he's very detailed oriented, and I feel like for me, that's something that I enjoy, just learning and picking everybody's brain, whether it's Coach Ursich, Coach Stubbs, Coach Franklin, and being able to learn and not make the same mistakes twice.
Was there a moment when you fully felt settled in to the team?
I would say after that Purdue game, I was able to make some key plays to help our team win, and I feel like after that game, I was pretty settled in.
What are your thoughts on Utah's secondary?
I think they're really good, and I think they're sound for sure, and I think we have a challenge ahead of us. But I definitely think that as long as we handle our business the way we know how to, and take care of business as far as executing at a high level, I really think that there's nobody that can stop us.
I got a couple quick fun ones for you. Who on the locker room is not getting the aux cord?
That's tough. I'll probably say Keandre Lambert.
Why's that?
Last question.
I don't know. I think we just got two different vibes, man. I think that's just how it is, man. I'm kind of, I like some of the old school music, and of course I listen to what's going on now. But I don't know. I would say that's the difference. I mean, he kind of thinks that the music I listen to is not it or whatever, and then the music he listens to, I'm like I heard that before. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just two different vibes for sure.
And then who on the team has kind of the weirdest hobby? Got anyone?
Weird hobbies.
Yo-yoing or juggling or anything like that?
Not that I know of. I don't think so. Yeah. I'll definitely let you know if I do, if I see that or not.
Right on, man. You're good to go.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.